Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching this. Welcome to another episode of Sis, It's Just Not God's Best for You, Self-Actualize and Shine podcast show with me, your host, Cinquetta Wilkes. And today we have a special guest, Natasha Peoples. So Natasha is based in Prince George's County, Maryland, and she is the girl CEO of Life Shadows Candle Company. A graduate of Delaware State University, the best school ever, just kidding, but no, too. Natasha holds her bachelor's degree in business management, where she started her career in accounting and transitioned to cybersecurity. In 2019, she started her first business as a nail technician after attending Dulles Beauty College in Washington, D.C. Once the pandemic hit, she made a transition and put a pause, a little stop to her nail business. And 2 months later, she birthed her current business, Life Shadows, the candle company. Life Shadows sells hand-poured scented candles, wax melts, room and linen sprays, and much more. You guys got to check out her website. So let me tell you guys, you can find more about her company at lifeshadows.com, or you can also follow Life Shadows on Instagram by the name Life Shadows. And you can also find Natasha. Natasha's also on social media. So if you want to, after this interview, you like her, you want to get to know her more, you want to hear her up, she's also on social media, and we're going to get her social media handles at the end of this interview. But again, ladies and gentlemen, we have Natasha Peoples as our guest on today's podcast episode of Sis, It's Just Not God's Best for You if you're not starting that business. So welcome, Natasha. Thanks again for joining us and being our guest today. So welcome. Now, you know, as I started this podcast, like the main thing that I wanted to make sure I put out there is like the importance of having more women CEO, more girl bosses in like out there and like putting ourselves out there. So I was just curious, what was your inspiration behind starting your business?
So I started my business in May of this year, 2020, once the pandemic happened. I was just trying to find something that I can do as far as make and be creative with. And I was researching and I looked at some kits, some candle kits. I ordered a kit, start making candles. And then after that, I just started making candles and made it into a business.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So did you always know that you wanted to do something in business? Like, we know that you went to Dell State for business management. So did you always want to do something in business? And then like the pandemic just gave you the reason to, or even as a little girl, you were into business? Like, how did you just have that inspiration? Like, what kind of put the business bug in you?
Yes. So I always knew I wanted to do a business. I wasn't sure which one. So like you stated, I started the nail business last year, the nail technician. I went to nail school. And once I started doing the nail business, that was more of a service-based business. And it was okay. But once the pandemic happened with the virus and the nail business being a, contact type of service, I put a halt to that. And then I started thinking about a product that I could make and sell. So that's what made me turn into the candle business, because it's a product and I like that business more than the service-based business.
Hey, I love that. And I liked how you were able to pivot and transition. Like you said, even though your first business was service-based, like you just didn't miss a beat and just was like, okay, I'm going to do candles now. So that is amazing. So was the nail business the first business that you started, or were you like starting businesses before then?
The nail business was the first business I started. I knew I wanted to do it, but I knew I wanted to do it the right way. So I went to nail school. And then while in nail school, I did start just taking clients so I can get more practice and, get experience with different people. So that's when I started the actual business. I filed the LLC and all that stuff that goes into a business. And then when I went into this business, it was a little bit easier head start, because I already knew that I needed to go to get the LLC, the EIN, and all the other things that go into starting up a business.
Amazing. So you know what? I think that's really, really important too, because sometimes, like, I like to hear that you said, like, you knew you wanted to do business, but you wasn't quite sure what. And I like that you got started. And like you said, you did it the right way. You went to school, you learned, you know, you actually got the professional things like the LLC. You said the what was the other one?
Yes, the EIN number. So that's like
EIN.
the
Okay.
tax identification number for the business.
Ooh, see, look at see, she's legit, y'all. That is so good.
And the thing is, too, it was a lot of things I learned behind the scenes that I didn't know about, even going to college or 4-year university in the business field. And I just thought that was like interesting that I didn't learn that while I was in school, and then out of school actually being hands-on with my business and researching and doing things like that, that I learned more things that comes into when you start your own business.
Mm-hmm. I think that's good to say too, because, you know, my problem is I feel like I do too much research. And my mom even says it like, I just be sitting on knowledge instead of executing. So it's good to hear that, like, okay, you can go to school, you can learn something, but nothing beats like actual practice or actual putting your hands to it and just learning as you go, you know?
Definitely, yes.
So that's good to hear. So as a serial entrepreneur, I'm glad you mentioned that. So you had your nail business and also your candle business now. Can you tell us what other services or products that you manufacture, that you're working on, any new scents? Do you see yourself maybe transitioning back to doing nails? Like what's your whole focus or your goal?
Okay, so like you said, I started off with the nail business and I put a halt to that. I didn't completely stop or end it. I just put a pause to it. I'm not sure if I want to go back to it. Or maybe even just be the overseer of other nail techs if I open a salon later on. But as far as right now with the products and my current candle business, I sell scented candles. I have a number of scents. I think I'm actually about to, and I also, every time I order scents, I order another one, test it out. I also have wax melts. I have the wax warmers, candle warmers, and I'm actually about to start gift sets. And I have started a few gift sets, but I'm actually, you know, posted on my Instagram site. So when people want to order gift sets, especially over the holiday season and while we're in this pandemic, when you can't actually be with your loved ones, you can order them a candle or, you know, a gift and send it to them since you can't be there while the pandemic is going on.
Wow, that is amazing. Okay, now I know, you know, you can't be biased, but I was curious, I know all of the scents are probably your favorite, but do you have like a favorite of Light Shadows that you really, really like that's like, I love this scent?
That's a great question. That's really a great question. Cause like one I think I love, and then I try another scent, and I like that one.
Oh wow.
I think for me, I like pretty much more the sweeter scents. So I think, you know what? I'm gonna answer that question. Strawberry shortcake. I think strawberry shortcake is my favorite scent because it gives me that neutral smell and still give you that sweetness. And it's interesting you said that too because there's a lot of scents that I don't like, and I'll take some pop-up shops. And people are like, oh my gosh, you got some more of this. And I was like, I did not like that scent. I was about to stop it, like not even buy it anymore. But I just made it because I just made it because I had that tester scent that I was trying to test. And people love, so the ones that sell the most majority of the time is the ones that I didn't like and other people loved.
Wow. Isn't that funny?
I know, it really is. So I'm like, let me let other people that, you know, my customers actually smell and see what they like.
That's good. So how do you find like inspiration for scents? Like how do you come up with the different combinations? Like take us through the process of start to finish. Like how do you select like a scent? Like how do you just do that?
So for me, I actually I went to my vendor site that I ordered the scents from, and I just go through them and see the ones that I like. And then also I reach out to some of my customers that's candle lovers that actually know what scents are popular and that people like, and I, you know, gravitate to those scents too and see if the vendor that I get my scents from have those type of scents.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that is amazing. So where did you get the name and inspiration behind Life Shadows? Like where did Life Shadows come, like that name?
So of course, when you create a name for well, for me, when I created a name for my business, I wanted it to be different,
Mm-hmm.
but like still have a meaning behind it. So shadows, when you light a candle in the dark, it shows the shadow. So a candle have a shadow. And then it just shows, and then when you're in the dark and you're looking into the candle, it's like show all like, well, not, it shows a reflection of different things that's going on in your life. So that's how I felt about the name Life Shadows. So the candle gives off the shadow, and then when you look into it, you can see the different things that reflects in your life.
Wow. That is a deep meaning. And it really like stands out, you know, Life
Thank
Shadows. You're welcome.
you.
I like it.
I actually think I need to trademark the names. No one would.
Ooh.
That's another thing in business too. You got to make sure no one else have that name and trademark the name. So right now, I know no one else in the state of Maryland has it, because that's when I did my LLC. They checked for all that, but I'm not sure. I have to do more research to make sure it's not in like anyone else is using that name.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Look at that. Another gem that you're dropping, you know, trademarks. That's something I feel like people kind of skip over. You know, just because you create something doesn't mean that's a business. I feel like the LLC, like the legal documents that you file, you know what I mean, to make yourself legit is what makes it a real business. So,
Yes, because someone else can take your identity and make it into their own, just because that's the type of world we live in now. They like that somebody else worked hard and created, and they can just go in and pick it up and play it off as if it's theirs.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Not my hard work, not your
Yeah,
hard work.
exactly.
So, as a business owner, where do you see Life Shadows in the next 5 or 10 years?
So I actually see Life Shadows as either a gift shop or a home decor type of company.
Mm-hmm.
I do think I want to stay online, but I'll definitely continue to do my pop-up shops and things of that nature, or even have parties, not really parties, but like a come through and smell the scent. Because I feel like with candles as well, it's like it's different when you actually smell it. So for example, my online sales pretty much caters to the scents people already know, the popular scents. But once they actually come to the pop-up shop and smell the different scents, those other scents do better at pop-up shops. So it's like I get more customer feedback in person than I do online, because online they want to stick and be safe with the scents that they already know about, versus people that's actually smelling them like, oh, I love this scent, and then they'll pick that one.
Oh, wow, customer feedback. That's another good thing.
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear that you do pop-up shops and you actually listen to your customers.
definitely.
I like that. So, what's the number one thing you think is important for every aspiring entrepreneur to know or to have, like for that girl or that guy that may be watching this and they're like, dang, I got a good idea. Like, what is something that, yeah, I'll phrase it like that. What is something that you wish you knew starting out that you know now?
Mhm. So I want to say, do your research. Definitely do your research on any subject matter that you want to start or do. Once you do your research, don't be hesitant and try to get everything all the way planned out before you start it. Because once you start, it might be a turning point that you might not have realized, because you already mapped everything out and not realizing that this might happen during the course. And it might change your whole perspective or change your whole feel of actually doing that thing you had all the way planned out. So once you get a little bit of experience, then go ahead and finish out your roadmap. So yeah, I think that's something really good to think about. And definitely just do your research.
Yeah, I think that is really good advice too, because sometimes you do get kind of like tight, hold like that idea tight in your hand, and if you're
Yes.
not open or flexible to changes, then
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, anything can throw you off and you're just like, dang, what
Exactly.
did I do? So
Exactly. And
that's
definitely
good.
just do it. Yep. And definitely just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yep, just do it. And then also, yeah.
Go ahead. What are you going to say?
I'm not sure. I forgot.
Well, I was going to ask too, like, you probably may have didn't feel this way doing Life Shadow since, like you said, you already had experience because you started out as a nail technician first. But how do you overcome that fear of starting? Like, will they like it? How do you overcome that part? Like
So
you
that was
got the
my
plan together. You just like, should I execute? Should I jump in? Yeah. Sorry.
So that was my problem with both businesses actually. So when I was in the nail part, when I was in school, and I was like, no, I have to wait till I do. They was like, Natasha, just do it, because what you'll have is you keep on waiting and you'll never get experience, and you need the experience to figure out, if that's what you want to do. And then with the candle business, I was testing, doing more testing. Like a whole maybe 2 months went by of me just testing candles, testing product, testing everything. My grandmother was like, girl, if you don't sell them candles. So I just started selling. I started selling like at a lower price. I mean, I haven't raised the price that much since. But yep, I got that push to saying, girl, if you just don't sell them. So I started selling them.
Oh, good. All right. So just hit the start button,
Correct.
And I think like you said in the beginning, you kept saying research. So I think once you do your research, you got your product, just go for it. Don't overthink it.
And then also use all your resources. There's a lot of resources out there that you don't even have to pay for yet. And then also YouTube. Like if you don't know how to do something, go to YouTube. How to create a bank account with Navy Federal, YouTube. YouTube would tell you everything. And like, for example, me, some people, when they explain or teach on YouTube, I might not understand them or might not like how they're teaching me. I'll just Google the next person, and the next person will say the same thing, maybe in a way that you can learn it. So definitely use your resources. There's a lot of resources out there for us.
I love that. And I love YouTube. I call YouTube like YouTube University, because it's very true. You can learn everything you want to know on there. It's like a search engine. We want to use this on YouTube. So I don't know what I'm going to title it yet, but someone could be like, dang, I want to start a business. I want to start a candle business. And they come find this one. So it's like each one teach one. We're all in this together. So that was good. As a female entrepreneur, and you may have kind of answered it already, but as a woman in business, it's still like a man's world in a way. Even the phrase businessman, you hear that a lot. So as a woman, how do you handle adversity or wanting to quit, or how do you overcome like those roadblocks that may come in your path, like in your journey of being an entrepreneur and business owner?
I don't think I've experienced that yet. Having to deal with that. I have experienced one situation where I had reached out to this nonprofit organization for a mentor, and the mentor was an older male, and it was a Skype interview. And at first I was kind of getting discouraged by what he was saying at first, but then I had to think about it like with the open mind, like just take what he's giving you, and just take it and receive it. And of course, if it's not what you need, then don't use it, but the parts that are for what you need, use it. So then a little bit later on, towards the end of the conversation, he kind of like went in and broke down what he was trying to say and explained it a little bit better. And I was and then once I had that mindset of having an open mind, I received it a lot better. And then of course with me, sometimes like if I'm not sure if how things come off, I might go to another person that's close to me and ask them like, hey, this person said this, what do you think about that? Like, how should I receive it? Not saying how should I receive it, but just what do you think about this? Like, did I receive it wrong, or should I have approached it differently? So I'm not sure if that answered the question, but
no.
I approach everything with an open mind, and then I actually reference it back to somebody else if I think I was I didn't come about it correctly, I'll answer it correctly.
Yes, and you did answer this correctly. So basically have an open mindedness and also receiving feedback, you know,
Yeah.
because you could have took, like you said, you could have listened to what the man said and just like forget him, but you know, you were open
Yeah.
minded, and you also asked like the people around you for feedback, you know, just to see, hey, was I tripping kind of thing. So I think
Yeah,
self-awareness is very important. So
definitely.
you did answer it. So how were you able to overcome failures in, you know, or even in, okay, with the pandemic? How did
Mm-hmm.
you know to pivot? How did you, because someone else could have, oh my gosh, like I went through all this, I went to school and now, you know, the pandemic, I can't, like, how did you just know to, all right, shake it off, let me try something else? How were you able
So I
to?
know for me, honestly, even with the nail business and actually experiencing different customers and the different services that I offered, I knew I kind of wanted to change. I just didn't know what it was. I always was saying that I think I want to go to a product. I think I want to go to the product. But I was already comfortable in doing the nail business because I had already kind of gained clientele and you know, already had service people. So I knew what that was. I knew what that looked like. I didn't know what making a product and selling the product looked like. So I'm like, no. So then once the pandemic happened, I knew I wasn't taking any more clients because of, you know, the circumstance. So I was like, okay, let me think of something while I'm in this house to make a product and start selling the product. And I knew for me, like I knew I couldn't do skincare or hair care because honestly, I'm picky when it comes to my skin. Like I don't put anything on my skin. So I knew like somebody else would feel the same type of way. So I'm like, let me do something that I kind of can, you know, be different with and creative with and still, you know, be able to do it myself in my home. And I was like, I ordered a kit because, you know, a kit comes with everything that you need because I didn't know what I was doing at first. So I didn't order the kit and just researched. Yeah, so that's kind of how I knew to pivot.
How did you pick candles, like out of all things? Like,
Well, candles, I know like when I was younger, my grandmother actually used to sell candles with home interior. It was a
oh,
candle, yeah, actually an interior design candle company. So I kind of was like familiar with candles already. So even like you said, when I went to go pick the scents, I asked her, I'm like, hey, what's a lot of scents they were selling, you know, when you were selling candles? And she gave me some, you know, good ideas. And then I also spoke to some of my candle lover friends that I have and asked them what they think about the different scents. And they gave me, you know, some pretty good scents as well.
oh wow! So this is like a generational thing. Like,
Yeah,
okay, so you had like some. Isn't it interesting how life works? Everything will come like back around full circle.
definitely.
So, what's your favorite thing about being a business owner?
hmm Um, my favorite thing, I guess, making someone else happy because, like, you know, once they get your product, you see that they, you know, like it, enjoyed it, and you know, it was worth all the hard work that you put into when you was making it. Because I literally make everything from scratch. Like I put the wick into the jar, I melt the wax, put the oil in there, stir it up, pour it in the jar, and then once it cool, I still have to wait and make sure there's no sinkholes and go back through my heat gun and you know, go back through every candle myself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, yeah.
You should make videos on that process. Like, I just find like watching people make stuff, their process just kind of so satisfying. I don't know, it's really weird. Like, is this girl on YouTube I watch? She makes soaps. And I just sit up
Okay.
there and watch her pour, kind of like what you were talking about. It's so like, I don't know. Ugh. So, okay, I'm glad you shared that. Like, you like that people enjoy your products. I feel the same
Yeah.
way. To me, I love the part about like packaging my book up and sending it out. it's just like so like, oh my gosh, I love this. Even though it could be like so boring, but I just like that part about it. And also I never knew what freedom was kind of until like now, like being my own boss. Like you just said, like you can be a creative and
Yeah.
it's just so freeing. Oh my gosh, I never knew this. I can call the shots. Kind of just like everything else we like to use and utilize. They started out with an idea too, you know, and they just went for it. And they kept on going till like they're at the level where we know them today. So I'm like, if they can create something, so can I. They're no different than me. So I just love that. So what was the key driving factor to start your businesses or to become an entrepreneur? You know, because going to Dale State, I never even thought about having my own business. I don't know for you, because you were in business management, it could have been like a little different. But for me, it was just like, oh, let me get a job. I'm going to college and get a job and I'll be on that job for forever. Like I never even thought about business. So how did you like think about business, or you already knew that you probably were going to be doing your own business?
So I'm the same way, you know, I still got, you know, my full-time job, and I always been a person like, oh, I need to get a job. But to keep it real, when you get a job and you don't have any dependents, them taxes hit different. So everyone always say, well, you need to get dependents, you need to start a business, da da da. So I'm like, okay, let's see how this is gonna work. I haven't actually officially, you know, filed taxes with the business, but
it's coming.
Hopefully, hopefully everything that I just spent and everything I did with this business can actually, you know, and then also, like you said, actually seeing the different sides of you that you haven't even experienced before, because you always used to go into that 9 to 5. You used to, you know, just going in, telling you what to do, and you just do it. Versus this is actually you have all creative control, like literally from the time it started to the time it ends, it's all on you. So I think that's a very, you know, fulfilling type of thing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
And kind of like what you say, you have me thinking, that's the next thing I have to kind of figure out is like the business tax side of things. Because now, like, I'm taking orders using PayPal and stuff, which I never had to do before. And like, you know, like I follow this one page and they were saying like, have business account, like use PayPal business and you just to look more legit. And it's just like, okay, here I go. Like, let me utilize this stuff, because I just never thought that it would be me. You know, you see that stuff, but I just can't believe it's me actually using it, creating invoices and stuff. I'm the person, I'm like always a consumer. So to be the producer, just like, OMG, this is awesome.
I definitely understand that feeling.
It's so good. And in a way, did you notice that, well, for me, it was the pandemic that kind of had me sit down and want to turn my book into a business. Like, all right, how can I like make this, you know what I mean? Like something profitable. Yeah. Like definitely. Before, I wasn't really worried about it. So like this pandemic kind of worked out in a way, you know?
And that's another thing too. I had a part-time job too, and then once the pandemic happened, I stopped the part-time job. So it's just like, let's find something else to replace it.
Right. You didn't miss a beat. But it was like, you are the, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I'm making my own self rich now, or I'm building somebody else. I'm not building somebody else's dream up anymore. I'm like building mine too. Kind of like you said, I still work, but it's like my work funds my dreams. Like that's how it's gonna go now. So, all right. So, since you've been doing this for a while, what are like the top 3 skills that you think are needed to be a successful business owner?
Top 3 skills.
Or it can be personality traits, mindsets. It could be whatever you think.
Definitely an open mindset. Open mind. Like, definitely an open mind, meaning, you know, people might, it's a lot of different people in this world that you might haven't experienced yet. And then you might experience them with this business because they want your product or want your service. And you have to just, kind of take yourself back and just, have an open mind of where they're coming from. And, also with that being said, you can't fire a customer and you can't fire a customer in a very nice way. Just let them know that, you don't think that you are a match, or you don't think that your product would be the right fit for her, or you don't feel like, the service would be the right fit for her. You enjoyed the time that she was with her or him, and, hopefully they can find somebody else to fulfill their service or need, because you don't want bad energy on you if you don't have to. And they don't want bad energy on them. So, just respectfully though, you never rude, never, never rude anything to anybody. And then the third one, have fun with it, honestly. I know that's like a different one, but that's how I feel. I don't know if it's because I already have a regular a full-time job and then I'm just doing this, but I honestly say just have fun with it.
No, that's good. I like that fun part, because I believe that as well. You don't have to do what's already been done. If you got something weird or unique that you want to try out, what can it hurt? It's best to get it out of your head and out there. That's my thing now. Like, don't sit on anything. Release it. If it works, it works. If not, keep it going.
Exactly. That is definitely how I feel. Like, try it once. If it ain't work for me, next. Okay? At least I can say I tried.
Exactly. Because you never know what that $1 billion business what that $1 billion cent may be.
Okay.
Right. So you do have to try. So I know you kind of talked about it earlier about the gift packs or collections, but were there other products that you were looking to start or offer in the future with Light Shadows?
So right now I just added the candle warmer, which is actually you sit your candle, like, so when your candle gets to the end and you're not supposed to burn it anymore and you can't light it anymore, but it's a little bit more wax in it, you want to get the wax out, it's you sit it on the warmer and it still release the fragrance or the aroma off the candle. And then also the wax melt warmers, because I offer wax melts, but sometimes people don't have the warmers to go with them, so now I just included the warmers. It's actually a 2-in-1. So I have a wax warmer and candle warmer. So you have the pot on top, you can take it off and then put the candle on it, or if you don't want the candle on it, you put the pot back on it, and you can use the wax melts. And then I also have like just the candle warmer as well. So those are 2 products that we just added to the company. And I think we want to go into like the home decor part. So I'm thinking about maybe adding some candle accessories or home decor type designs. I'm not really sure right now how that's going to look, but I'm thinking about adding that as well. I think maybe like after the holiday season, because right now the holiday season is really like busy for us. So once the holiday season slows us down, then maybe we can sit back, regroup, plan it out, and see how the next year is going to go for us.
Yay. I'm so excited. That sounds super, super good. So was there anything else you wanted to touch on? Anything else you wanted to share with us?
Well, that's really it right now. I'm sorry.
No. I just want to make sure I didn't leave anything out. Like, hell yeah, about
one more thing I would like to add. I want to piggyback off what you spoke about a little bit earlier about using following other Instagram pages that that's giving out free resources. Like, follow them Instagram pages. Look at those Instagram pages. And just, because one lady I follow is Ronnie Brown. She's really good when it comes to social media. So I really like her. And Lynn Richardson, she's more the business hack side as well. So I try to share that information too, because I feel like helping someone else is not blocking my blessings. So I don't mind helping someone else. I mean, I might not help you like 100%, but I definitely, love helping, love passing knowledge and sharing that knowledge.
That is great. I like Lynn Richardson. She's the one that I remember talking about starting a home-based business. And I was like, oh, I was sending her interview out to people like, look at this. Like, we need to get on this. Like, I like her. I like her too. And Ronnie Brown, I
Definitely.
felt like I had just got her book, but I just didn't get a chance to read it. But I follow her, but I just haven't been able to like really engage with her content. Because I guess it's kind of like what you were saying. You got to find your fit even in business, like your I guess virtual mentor fit. Like some people like, oh my gosh, I love her, but I just can't get into her. And then I could do the same thing, like, listen to this girl. Other people may not like her, but it's just like so good to have options, like a lot of things to choose from. So I feel like, and I was going to ask that too, but I wasn't quite sure. I was like, maybe she may have not experienced it. But this one girl I know from social media, she was saying how like she reached out to a vendor for like asking a question, or someone that had like a similar business or something. Like, oh, where did you what vendor did you use to like start your t-shirt line? And you know, she said like the person she asked wound up blocking her just because she asked the question. It's just like, dang, that's so selfish, you know? And it just kind of goes back to what you were saying, like, it's not going to block your blessing if you help share, you know?
So I have like received a question like that was like, oh, how do you make candles? Or it was something like that. Or she was asking something very detailed, but with information as far as candles, it's like a lot of science that go into it. So I don't want to give you the wrong information. So I politely went onto YouTube, I found the link, and I sent it to her. So I feel like I still, helped you. I found the yeah. So.
Exactly. You didn't just like not tell her how you know what I mean? So I like that.
Yeah, I had to have an open mind with it. Because at first I was like, okay. And then I had an open mind. I was like, okay, let me do my part and reach out, go on YouTube for her and find the link and send it to her. Because I didn't want to get her the wrong information. It wasn't like me not telling her what I do, but with the question she asked, I couldn't give
too
her
specific. Right.
Yeah.
I get it.
One for all answer, yeah.
And then see with that too, she is gonna have to try it out herself. Like it's like a medium to that. Like I can give you the information, but I can't do it for you. I can't start your candle line. Like you still got to put your feet to the ground and do the work, like I did. But I feel like if it's a resource or something, like I'll tell you. Yeah. It's no big deal, because I feel like at the end of the day, no one can do it like how you can do it. I could give you the whole actually game plan, but you won't be able to do it like how I'm doing it. Right. Like, so this was amazing. So, I told the people in the beginning that we will give your regular social media handle and stuff like that if you want. But, let people know where they can find you, and also give us the website again.
Gotcha. Okay. So you can find me at Life Shadows on Instagram, LYFESHADOWS, or lifeshadows.com, LYFESHADOWS.com. And then I actually do have my personal Instagram page attached to my business page, like in the bio section. So you can find my name there as well if you want to actually follow me personally. I'm not sure. I'm torn between that right now, accepting like people I don't know right now. But it's fine. You can still try, and I'll see how I feel at the moment.
Look, say you watch this interview, guys, and she'll probably let you in. Is it full? A little? Yeah. Oh, yep. Back it up a little. There. Yes. You guys screenshot it. All right, Natasha, thank you so much for your time in this wonderful interview and dropping all these amazing gems with the people. If you guys are looking for gifts, Black Friday gifts especially, and the holidays are coming up, Please check out Light Shadows for your scents. I actually have like the candle melts, the wax melts from Light Shadows, and they are really, really good. And they last long. It's like a nice clean. I think, what's the one I got?
Lemon pound cake.
Oh, yeah, it's like nice and fresh and clean. But now I'm about to go on and check out strawberry shortcake since you said that's your favorite flavor. So I want to check that one out too. I got the website up right now.
All right, we have a Black Friday sale going on. So,
oh, do you?
Yes. On Black Friday, on Friday, 11/27. Be on the lookout.
Okay, is that AM or PM?
All day. It's all day.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so 11/27 is the date. Well, I thought you were talking about the time.
Oh no, yeah, that's the actual date. It's all day, and yeah, check us out.
Yay.
And no code is needed. You don't need any code. It's automatically discounted at the end of your purchase.
Oh, even better, because sometimes it's hard to keep up with them.
I know.
You're like, dang, did I type it in right? Oh, gosh. Yeah. Thanks for taking that out for us.
No problem.
All right, guys. Well, thanks again for joining in. And I want to thank our guest, Natasha Peoples of Light Shadows, for being our guest today on Sis, It's Just Not God's Best for You if you're not starting that business, with our special guest, Natasha Peoples. Join us again next time, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me.